Zach usually pops in pretty quick. Let's see if he's in. Um, what's up? Hi. What's up? How's it going? I know. I wish I was in Big Brother too. Trust me. Just gonna wait for Zach here for a second, and then let's see. There you go. Here comes Zach. Hey, what's up? Wait, Zach, are you in? I'm accepting you. I swear. I'm trying. I'm trying. Give me a second. I'm trying. I don't know what's up with this. It happens every time we do this. Oh my gosh. I swear. I'm so sorry, Zach. I'm trying. Look, I'm pressing the button. If only you could see my screen. To be fair, when I accept you, it still says I haven't accepted you. Okay. Send in another request. If you could do it. Oh, this is so bad. Oh, this is so bad. I'm trying. Let's go. I know. I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. Okay, Zach, you're gonna have to like get out and then log back in or something. Something. Send another request, please. Oh my lord. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
I think it was delayed. I think it was delayed. What's up?
It was. What's up,
Oh my
man?
gosh. I just want to say first thoughts. Love the veto.
I do too.
Love
That
the veto
dude,
comp.
wardrobes, it felt like it was scripted with Mickey being there in the finale with Vince in that final. Like, it was insane, bro.
I have so much to say about that veto, like the whole competition. But one thing I want to point out is like no way they're still lying there the entire competition.
I
when
know.
Ava died and then Will died and then they're just laying there. I was like, no. When I saw Will fall, I'm like, no way he's gonna stay there the whole time, right? And he's still there. I'm like, no way. I was like, dude, I'm like that floor ain't that comfortable. I'll tell you that. I
my
mean, it's okay.
question, my question is like, do you think that they did that themselves, or do you think like, they were kind of like, hey, you should do this, you know?
Um, I don't know because I don't know how long it really was the competition, but that's a good question. I would say I don't think they did it on their own. I don't think Will would actively want to lay on the floor, pretending to be dead. So that's just my indication, but I won't know until they come out.
Yeah. That's how I feel too. It's like I feel like maybe the first person did. I think Ava was the first one to die, right? She was the one that like
Yeah, if it was the
knocked
first
out.
one.
So I feel like after that fact, they were like, okay, maybe it was just playing off her, but yeah, no, I saw Kelly getting some heat for the way that she died. Like I saw that on Twitter, and
Oh,
some of the
really?
people were a little overplayed, but yeah,
I
no,
mean, they all overplayed it, I would say. But I mean, that's part of their fun. When you're in the house, you like to have fun because what would you not gonna like play along?
yeah, absolutely, I
I mean,
agree with you.
everyone did it. I mean, especially since the HOH Rachel one, like everyone's screaming. "Ah." I was like, okay, this is so. But hey, man, I'm like, they all could be actors, when the season's over. I would
Yeah,
say that.
yeah, absolutely. So, what did you think about everything that just went down that episode?
Well, maybe we should. I don't know. Should we do a small recap? You want to take it away with that one?
We can do a small recap. It is
Just
your
whatever you
live,
remember, and
huh?
then we'll talk about it.
Say that again.
Okay, you do a small recap.
Small recap. So, long story short, what I found hilarious, I'm going to say what I found very funny in that episode. Number one, the whole Will deal when he was like fast forwarding on the DVR, I was dying at that entire segment. And that's like true, like that's how he is in the house as well.
Yeah.
Like he gets there with his shades and he's always on that one sofa right next to the DR room and he's
Hmm.
just like chilling. And it was so funny hearing his thought process going on because we both had seen him multiple times in that house, just sitting there and just not responding to anybody. And seeing what he had to say was very funny to me in that portion of it. I thought the not the HOH, the veto was very wildly entertaining. I was surprised that nobody was really like flipping the cups more so, especially at the beginning. But like hearing their thought process with like Will obviously not wanting to win the veto, that whole deal with like Keanu and Vince, where Keanu was like, telling Vince not to go for Mickey, or he didn't want because like, oh, I don't want you to draw the line, was a little bit confusing to me. I mean, I understand where he's coming from, but I'm like, dude, like the target obviously is Mickey. You know what I'm saying? Like that was a little bit bizarre to me. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that.
I mean, I'm like, maybe they just didn't show it because we know live feeders know that like what we see on TV is not like the full story, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I wonder if Keanu wanted it. I don't know. This could be just be a stretch because Keanu's gameplay has been interesting this season to watch,
Yeah,
and it could have. And I'm curious to know if he genuinely just if he wanted to get out or he wanted like I really don't know what he was thinking there. And then the Kelly thing, I know. Remember, I'm watching live feeds and Vince. Everyone was shocked that Kelly picked Vince. Like, aren't you? Shouldn't you want to get out rather like Ava? Well, Ava was already out, I think, at that point. But go
yeah,
after Mickey simply since that's the person you're competing for the veto. Like, you get Keanu may have a higher chance of using it on you. Vince, he may keep it the same, but that's still better than Mickey winning it. Like from
right.
her point of view,
Exactly.
and I'm like, it's just crazy.
I know.
And then yeah, and I love Will gives great DRs. I saw someone comment he really does do great DRs.
He
Uh,
does. He does. It was interesting the way that they showed leading up to Catherine being, on the block. Like they obviously had the whole Winegate situation. They showed that as well with, Kelly planting that seed. And, I feel like she's done that countless times in the house to where it's like people like Ashley, she clocked that. Ashley clocked that. She's like, what the
yeah,
hell are you doing, Kelly? In this massive group setting. And so, yeah, that was the whole Winegate situation was something. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that.
Kelly. I feel like the whole house, like you were there. She's instigated pretty early on in the
Yeah,
game, and everyone just doesn't believe her at
yeah,
this point. Like
yeah.
they just it's easy to say, she starts drama, and because she has that history of doing it, like planting those seeds. So it's like,
Yeah, she planted the seed with the whole bathroom situation where there was like pee next to the toilet, and like she was the one to start that with Keanu. I remember waking up and like
yeah,
hearing them talk about it, or she was like implying that Rachel was calling out Keanu, and
yeah.
then I'm still in bed trying to wake up, and all of a sudden I hear Rachel storm out, and she's yelling and going insane, and so yeah, I when I saw the whole Winegate situation, I'm like, man,
Yeah, it's
Kelly.
that house is I don't know. There is yeah. Kelly's been like she said it. She was instigating from like the beginning. I don't know. It's part of her strategy. I don't know how well that's going to work for her. It's not helping her social game whatsoever. But I was thinking today. I was like, what if she could use that to her advantage? And like, what if she's like, because you know how at the beginning of the season, people were like, Rachel, or at least Rachel pitched it, at least to me, that she's the perfect person to take final two because no one would like vote her. Now
Right.
that perception has changed in the house, right? Where they're like, I would vote for Rachel if she could get to the final two. I
Right.
think a lot of people plan to get her out before then, but if she
Yeah.
gets there, that's still impressive. But I was like, I could see a lot of people winning a vote against Kelly. Maybe she should start pitching that. But the whole house still doesn't is not too fond of her, and I'm
I
like,
don't
it's not
think
looking good.
yeah, I don't think Kelly would ever do that in terms of like, oh, you guys would all win against me if we were in the final two together. That's why you should keep me.
I still
Um
don't think people would take her.
I don't think I think she's just caused so many issues in the house, right? To the point of she could very much so be the person going home. I saw a poll of like where America wants like the amount between Ava, Catherine, and Kelly. Like, who did
Yeah,
they want out of the house the most? And Kelly had like 75% of the votes by the time that all went down. So,
yeah.
yeah. So that it is what it is.
Well,
But
I'm pretty aware of how people feel about Kelly outside the house, but inside the house is what I guess really matters because that's what the game is at, right?
oh,
That's
for
what the
sure,
house thing.
for sure.
I remember she did ask me like what she needs to do because no one believes her. She felt like a bit in like like a stuck spot. I was like, well, you used to get it a lot the first
She
since you
keeps
got here.
putting
No one
herself in
believes
that
you.
hole. She keeps putting
Yeah,
herself in that hole like every week, it feels like.
I mean, maybe she was inspired from last season. I mean, she said it before. This is nothing I'm like new. I'm just bringing up what's have been stated. Tucker. I don't know how much that has affected her game. I have zero clue, but she does drop it a lot. I
Yeah.
think the audience has seen it, especially the live feeders. Um, so I don't know. I mean, hey, look, if she knows she's going on the block and she asked to go on the block, this is probably the one time she didn't ask to be on the block, and then she still finds herself on the block. Uh, but yeah, that's it. Oh, yeah, it's crazy. I
It
don't. I know
is
this season is pretty darn interesting. Vince,
Vince.
thoughts on Vince?
Vince Vince thoughts, man. I mean, last time we went live, right? We were talking about that whole scenario where he could run with the people that have really kind of dominated a lot of the challenges.
Yeah.
We said that entire group, but when I watched the way that they perceived it on the episode today with the whole Winegate situation and how it all got directed, I'm like, okay, maybe he does want to stick with Rachel in this moment, but my point in all that is like I obviously Morgan had a big deal in him turning his decision to keeping Rachel, right? I mean, like I'm not dumb.
Hey, Cameron, what's up?
I
Cameron,
saw,
CP25. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, no, I saw a lot of lives, and she was up in Vince's room a lot, and so yeah, she definitely had a sway in keeping Rachel in the game. That's for sure. So yeah,
You said Morgan had a lot of sway for keeping Rachel in the game. Yeah, yeah. I'm curious to see how far Morgan will go. Because I think she has a good shot making it to the end. So does Vince, but I feel like Morgan doesn't have as much heat on her as Vince does. I
no,
think,
not at this point. Yeah,
especially if Kelly and like Keanu or like don't win. I
yeah,
mean, they have yet to win a HOH, which I mean, it's hard to win HOHs. I mean,
right.
like you can't say it's like something easy, but like it really depends. Like I know Mickey is probably in one of the not in a good spot. At the beginning of this week, I would say she was probably at like see everyone wants her out. They're gonna vote her out. Even I would say maybe I think if she was next to Kelly, they'd still vote her out. At the
Yeah.
beginning of this week, I would say that was the vibe. But I
Mhm.
don't know now. She's safe, and I'm curious. I'm like, if Mickey wins the next HOH,
Hmm.
things could flip around for her because she's still not aware that, at least from my perspective, I don't think she's aware of how much people will want her out yet.
It doesn't seem like it. I mean, I try to keep up with live as much as possible, but after a while, it's just nonstop, and you just know everything changes at the very end. And so, I don't think she perceives that yet. I know that there had that whole confrontation, like Morgan and Mickey went back and forth for a little bit.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, I think it obviously comes down to who wins HOH. However, she is like now perceived as like the house target, or like that's kind
yeah,
of what is being said. So she could end up on the block. However, if she's up next to like Vince, for example, people could take Vince out in that situation. I don't know. We're
yeah,
speaking well into the future, so
yeah.
um,
I mean, with this cast, I don't think you could predict too much in the future, but we will be doing that tomorrow with our draft picks and pick our players after tomorrow's eviction. We're gonna pick the current players in the house and see who is gonna. We're gonna pick our players to like see who's gonna win. Have
yeah.
you decided the point system yet, or just the last one standing wins?
I got a few DMs about it, but I think what we should probably just do is last one standing, and like we
Okay.
draft and kind of give our reasons of why we think they may be the last one standing or to win the game. But that's gonna be a lot of fun, man. I
Yeah,
know like me and Adrian talked at like my time. It was like 3 a.m. in the morning
it's
last
only
night.
1 hour more for you. It's not
Yeah,
that big. Yeah, but it's pretty late. It's pretty late.
yeah, it was like 3 a.m. and we were just like hashing out like kind of our strategies, and then we're like, wait, why are we talking to each other about this? We were literally going to draft against each other.
Yeah,
So that will be fun. That's gonna happen tomorrow. So we're going live with Jimmy on TikTok after the live episode, but
yeah,
we decided we're gonna do it after that, right? Is that what we
yeah. It's
decided?
what we decided. But I remember I was talking to Jimmy the other day in his life. He's like, "Yeah, it's gonna be." on Thursday. I don't know if you wanted us to do it on there too, but so far I think the plan is just us. But I mean, hey, I think we're pretty fluid in what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
But I think we should also start moving on. So I did see like I want we're okay. So here's what we're gonna do is what I'm hearing is we're gonna move to TikTok in like the next 5 minutes. But I'm thinking before we transition because we still have to go over who's in the best spot, who's the worst spot in the house, our predictions of what tomorrow is going to be, who's going to get evicted. And also, I have a new segment that I would like to do. It's like spinning the wheel with everyone's current names, and it's whoever it lands on. We talk about how that specific person could win the game, like what they need to do to win, and then we'll answer some more questions on TikTok there. But I
Yeah.
want to see if we can answer some questions on here before we head over. If you're cool with that, Zach.
I'm down. I'm down. Find a question for us to answer, and I will do to the best of my ability to answer.
Okay, so the first question here, and I like this one. Do you think Vinny did well this week or a wasted HOH?
Okay.
Okay.
I in terms of like, look, I'm under the same impression. If Rachel makes it to the very end, she would have my vote because she'd won HOH already. And like the fact that she was able to work her way through this season, immediately when she came on week one, everybody was saying that they wanted to get her out, right? And all of a
Mhm.
sudden, she's kind of like put herself in a pretty solid position. If she makes it to the end, she has my vote. So for that reason, I was shocked that Vince didn't put her on the block. I understand he wants to keep, the Judges Alliance intact, but like we were talking about this on our last live, that it felt like he was drug into that alliance and nobody
Mhm.
has been together like close with their alliances. Like everyone continuously puts their alliance members on the block. And so I thought in terms of like a game move, I was like, wow, he went with the safer option, in my opinion. However, I
Yeah.
understand Catherine definitely was going to put him on the block. I understand that, but I still think Rachel would too. So I think it was a little bit of a waste. It was a wasted HOH in terms of, like if Rachel makes it to the end, she's winning the entire thing, in my opinion. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, like I said, like you said, we talked about it like in the past lives before. I mean, the way I like to define like what makes a good HOH is like there's like two reasons why, or maybe three reasons why. One is for to secure your safety if you're
For sure.
that week. That's
For
what
sure.
Vince did.
Mhm.
So without that, he could have easily seen the block. So did he need to win this HOH? Yes, I think so. Because he could have seen the block and potentially go home. So
Mhm.
that's if you count that, it's not a waste. Two is if you're getting out a threat that is a threat to your game. That is yet to be foreseen. I don't think as the votes lie right now, I don't think Ava's going to go home no matter what. I think she's going to
Understood.
stay. So
Yeah.
but I think Vince believes and that Ava would put up Vince again. So that may not be like necessarily his best option.
Yeah.
I think the house at the moment, it always changes literally every few minutes if it's Catherine or Kelly, like who should keep. I want to say Kelly goes home for sure, but of
Yeah.
course the house sways back and forth. But I want to say as of right now, Kelly goes home either way unless she wins the blockbuster.
Yep.
So if Kelly does go home, I know Kelly doesn't, as she just said that in this episode, that she doesn't really trust Vince anymore. Um, so she wants to take that shot, or I don't know if she would, but she definitely doesn't trust him anymore. So that isn't a waste there if he gets out Kelly, potentially Cat, but I think Cat will go after bigger fish than Vince.
Mhm.
Um, so iffy, and then also the third reason is if you use the HOH to build relationships, to build alliance, and he's protecting his current alliance, it is yet to be foreseen if that alliance is going to work out or not. I mean, so is it a waste? Is it a complete waste? No. Is it the most impressive HOH? No.
Yeah.
Is it going to bite him in the butt? Yet to be foreseen, but I don't think it's the worst. It's still he can still win this game. He didn't screw his game over, but he didn't. I mean, he helped it by getting safety. So that's my opinion on it.
How do you think Lauren, like I agree with you in terms of like creating alliances like during your HOH and like solidifying that, but how
Yeah.
do you think Lauren's going to respond to like Catherine? I mean, obviously we've seen some of the live feeds, but like Do you think that she tries to distance herself a little bit from Vince? Like, what do you think
Lauren
it's a
should distance. You're asking if she should?
what do you think? Yeah, what do you think she should do in this moment with Vince? Because Vince just put Catherine on the block,
That
one of her
is a
closest.
good question, and I think this is a good time to answer that on TikTok. Because a lot of people because we're trying to spread it out because there's a lot of people on TikTok, so we're
Yeah.
trying to spread out the lives. So I think it's a good transition now. I don't know if you're ready. I'm ready.
Oh, I'm down. I'm down. We'll go live on. Do you want me to go live on my TikTok? I can go live on my TikTok.
Whatever works with you. I'm probably gonna send out like a quick story on my Instagram,
Do it.
letting people know. But
I got you. All
yeah,
right, we're moving over to TikTok for a little
all right.
bit.
I'll see you there.
All right, peace. Bye.
Peace.